Actually, guys, I want to watch this shit, guys. It interests me. It interests me.
Cool streams have a good
Maybe I'll
night.
skip ahead if it's something I already saw or whatever, but...
Plastic bag in the front truck. The dismembered body of a 14-year-old girl was found decomposing in a plastic bag in the front truck of a Tesla at a Los Angeles impound lot. The Tesla was registered in Hempstead, Texas to David Anthony Burke, also known as multi-platinum singer and songwriter David, who currently has 2 million followers on Instagram and nearly 40 million monthly listeners on Spotify. David was on tour the day she was found, traveling from Madison, Wisconsin to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Authorities expressed that David was cooperating with them, so it seemed like this was some horrible coincidence. But every day that passed, more information came out that made David look more like the prime suspect. The girl was identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who had run away from her home 14 months earlier and had been missing ever since. The LAPD said it is very likely she was dead for several weeks prior to her being discovered. Some of the other initial reports were shocking. She and David had a matching tattoo that said "shh" on their fingers. Her brother told police David regularly picked Celeste up in the same Tesla she was found dead in. Countless photos and videos were resurfaced where the two appeared to be close friends, if not possibly a couple. And one
Hold on. I won't skip too ahead of time.
Dead in. David regularly picked Celeste up in the same Tesla she was found dead in. Countless photos and videos were resurfaced where the two appeared to be close friends.
Wait, but how does his brother know that though? Wait, his sister that's been missing or whatever gets picked up often by some guy, and he doesn't think that maybe he's old enough to drive, has a car, probably too old to date his sister?
If not possibly a couple. And one of the last times she was ever seen in public, she was backstage at one of his concerts. Now, if you look at all of the evidence I'm about to give you in no particular order, it screams that David is guilty. And by no means am I trying to defend him or prove him innocent, but we are talking about a very serious murder of a child. And I think there are a lot of people on the internet that are looking at this as pure entertainment, and they're confusing the story and spreading false information because it makes for a more interesting crime documentary. With that being said, what I'm going to do is try to establish a very clear timeline of events from the moment Celeste may have met David.
How's it me? I'm the debunker. You guys say that you're not allowed to look at something and say, is this that? To go to the place where you say, it is this. Yo, to debunk it, you have to entertain the possibility of a certain scenario and then say, it is not this because of that. That's how you debunk something. You say, this could be a theory. It's not this, it's actually this. But this is because you do because you do it on it's so bad, you should have always the correct answers. Incorrect. Thought process is everything.
To when she went missing, to what happened while she was missing, and ultimately when she was found dead, and what has been proven so far. In July of 2022, David releases his breakout song, Romantic Homicide, where he sings, "In the back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry, not a single tear."
Where she died in the back of my mind. Like, I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died.
This song would go extremely viral on TikTok, would eventually become multi-platinum, and launch him into fame. 1 month later, someone with the username Celeste messaged in David's Discord in August of 2022 saying that her parents are annoying and they won't let her go see him perform. He replies, "Don't worry, I'll fix it," which if this was the victim, she would have been 11 years old at the time of this message. A few months later, in October of 2022, David asks for Celeste, and that same user replies, "Hi David, bark," seemingly excited to talk to him. She would have been 12 years old at the time. 1 year later, in October of 2023, David says he thinks girls his age are In December of 2023, a user in David's Discord takes a screenshot of what appears to be a live stream and asks David, "Who's the girl?" To which he replies, "You are a fed."
Yeah, usually people say that girls their age are dumb when they incline a comment to say that it's why they're dating older. But to say that and date younger is a little crazy. I gotta say, that's it's
which basically means, why are you all up in my business? Then again, if this was Celeste, who was not missing at this time, then he would be publicly hanging out with a 13-year-old.
Yes, I say little because I'm using it as a broad umbrella term. Because what if it was, oh guys, 25 to 23 or whatever? Yeah, then yeah, like I said, the pattern. I'm just saying
However, due to the
just
low
not
quality of this
listening.
photo and half of her face being covered, it's hard to tell if this is actually Celeste. Plus, you will notice a trend of David always being around girls that look the same. There is also this photo that may have been taken around the same time, December of 2023, although we don't have an exact date, but David's hair matched that color around late 2023 and early 2024. In January of 2024, David is seen on a live stream with the girl we strongly believe to be Celeste. It's important to know at the time of this stream, David was 18 years old, about to turn 19, and Celeste was 13. Also, she was not a missing person at this time.
Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer.
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot me. Bro, thank you, Mitochondria.
We need
So,
to.
trying to also just ask you guys, point blank, I'm not trying to be weird, chat, but yes, she wasn't missing, right? But at 13 years old, guys, I am back at home at 7 p.m. before dark. Otherwise, I'm getting a few slaps. Okay, it is what it is. I'm back at fucking 7 p.m. sharp at home in the house. Otherwise, I'm grounded. I'm cooked. My Xbox is in the freezer for fucking 3 weeks. Like what? Like this person over here. She's over here with this guy in this particular house. Do we think that this is within range of her actual house and she's going home every night? I'm inclined to say doubt, but I don't want to be spreading misinformation. But like, let's keep it a buck. She's probably not at home in a stable life routine.
Delete it.
Are we?
I
Maz,
doubt it.
can we delete all VODs and then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
It's interesting that they both wanted this stream deleted, probably because Celeste made this joke about R-wording kids.
I media trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of it's.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah. Oh my. Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes.
He says he media trained her, hinting that she can't
Delete everything. Everything goes.
He says he media trained her, hinting that she can't just say wild things on the internet. Also in the chat, they are making jokes about David being on the Epstein flight logs. So it seems like the conversation was something about David and minors. Also, someone in the chat typed in Celeste's name. So at some point, she was identified on this stream as Celeste. Also at this time, David was rolling out a song called Leave Her, where he sings the lyrics, "I can't stop falling for her," and also was posting a ton of TikToks suggesting he was infatuated with a girl. Around this time, David started sporting a lot of Hello Kitty gear, mugs, shirts, plushies. He even romanticized a Hello Kitty girl. Hello Kitty almost became like an extension of his brand, and you'll notice a lot of Hello Kitty adjacent stuff with Celeste in a bit. In February of 2024, David's manager, Josh Marshall, entered a lease for a Hollywood Hills home. However, the owner wasn't informed that David was actually going to be the one living there. On February 14th, 2024, which was Valentine's Day, 70 miles south of David's home is a town called Lake Elsinore, California. A 13-year-old girl named Celeste Rivas Hernandez was reported,
How far away?
which was Valentine's Day, 70 miles south of David.
Dude, yeah, like I said, I took a guess and maybe too early, but yeah, 2 hours. If they're making a stream like late in the evening at night, 2 hours, dude, at 13 years old, where you have to go to school and shit like that. Come on, bro.
Its home is a town called Lake Elsinore, California. A 13-year-old girl named Celeste Rivas Hernandez was reported missing. Family members made posts to Facebook asking people to help locate her. Celeste's aunt wrote, "We still don't know anything about my niece, and I will not get tired of begging God and appear well. I love you, and you know that the mercy of God will accompany you wherever you are. I have faith and you will return to our arms." Missing person posters were distributed around Celeste's neighborhood, and her family posted as many photos as possible to ensure she could be found. According to private investigator Steve Fisher, Celeste's mother somehow found out that she was with David and emailed his manager Josh, but this PI did not release the email. He also says a couple days after this email, Celeste returned home on February 20th, 2025. Celeste's cousin made a post on Facebook a few days after she returned home saying, "Be careful with who you talk to on the internet, guys. Don't make the same mistakes my cousin made." However, just a few weeks later, Celeste was reported missing for a second time in March of 2024. On March 19th, 2024, Celeste was captured on security camera footage belonging to Delago Spirits, a liquor store just down the street from her family home. At 7 a.m., a teen identified as Celeste by her family is seen walking down the street wearing an oversized black hoodie and white pants. Now, her being out at this time isn't necessarily weird because kids walk to school or the bus in the morning, but out of nowhere, she begins to run around the corner. What I find interesting is how the other person she walks past stops and turns their head to look back at Celeste, almost like she noticed something weird. Like, was she crying or did she say something? During this time, chat logs from David's Discord indicate that his closest fans knew about them. Someone said, "Pretty sure he is dating right now," and another user replied, "Yeah, her name is Celeste." Shortly after, Celeste was found and brought back home by police. Celeste was reported missing for the third and final time in April of 2024. The Riverside County Sheriff's Department opened a missing person investigation after Rivas left her home at 9 p.m. on April 5th, wearing gray pants and a black sweater, as well as a hat and Hello Kitty sandals. Celeste's brother Matthew told NBCLA that family members were aware that the girl knew the singer David. Matthew Rivas said when his sister disappeared, she was on her way to see a movie with him, but never returned. Her brother also said that David regularly picked her up in the same Tesla her body was found in. Now, a reasonable person would assume that the family did not know that David was 19. Maybe they could have assumed he was 16 because that is the age you need to be to legally drive a car. Whether or not David knew that Celeste was 6 years younger than him at this point is not clear, but many people have a hard time believing that David could not be aware that he was regularly hanging out with, or worse, being romantically involved with a child. After April 2024, Celeste's family would never see her again. At least, we think. A source for the Daily Mail...
I understand as she said, her brother went to the police, blah, blah, but what are her parents doing, though? Like, where's the parenting? Where's the setting guidelines and whatever? Like, I'm assuming that she would go out and then come back and it'd be a cycle or whatever, right? It's not just, she didn't just disappear at once and never came back, right? Like, clearly they don't give a fuck. They seem to care sometimes when it's convenient, but I don't know, what the fuck.
Claimed Celeste stayed in contact with friends for more than a year after being reported missing. There was a photo of her taken at a family member's graduation, but it was posted in August of 2024, and graduations don't typically happen in August. So it was either sometime in May or June when graduations typically happen, or maybe even a full year before. But regardless, the photo seems like it was uploaded long after it was taken. While Celeste was missing, an insider revealed the family received a strange phone call that made them stop searching for her. I know someone who called her mom and said, "Stop looking for her, she's fine," the insider said. They told the family to take down the social media posts about her being missing. The identity of the alleged caller is unknown, and there's no way to know if they are connected to David. 2 months
Oh, okay. Oh! My child's missing. This is the end of the world. Guys, please, God, save this person. Bring her home. But I got a call from a guy with a voice on the mic says, "Yo, bruh, she chillin'. Back off, moron." Oh, good. That makes sense now. Thanks for the information.
After being
We're
missing
good now.
on June 27th, 2020.
It was the automated Facebook post, okay, but...
Many believe
It's your
Celeste
child,
is
though.
captured backstage walking alongside David's brother at one of his concerts in Los Angeles. Now, this evidence is much stronger, but pay attention here. David posted a TikTok on February 7th, 2024, before Celeste went missing the first time. It says, "When your card declines at therapy and they bring in that one Hello Kitty girl you met in 2021, take a look at his jeans and the Hello Kitty plushie looped onto his pants. This next photo is a POV shot of a girl with fair skin holding his belt loop wearing the Hello Kitty themed Crocs. Those Crocs match the ones that Celeste was wearing backstage.
Any ring
and
matching?
The description of her missing person report says that she was wearing Hello Kitty sandals. Even though we can't 100% confirm, I do strongly believe that the girl who was captured going backstage is Celeste. But now there is a huge gap in the timeline, from June of 2024 to September 2025 when she was found dead. During this 14-month...
Yo, let's give it about chat. I know probably because of it may be perhaps current investigations or whatever. This is a ultra mega multi-party system with a lot of people that are either around or direct interactors of all this, so many people have seen, heard, and been there when these individuals are there at the... Yo, I can't even stop it. Yes, what is this dog shit, man? You see what I'm talking about?
Gap. Very little is
So, nobody said anything. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's doing shit.
known, and it's very speculative as to what happened and where she was during
look at
that
the DS
time.
bug.
But this is all the evidence we have. July of 2024 is an insanely important month to
Should I
remember
understand?
because basically all of the evidence that we have takes place in this 1 month period. July 7th, 2024, David posts a TikTok of him and a girl with the same skin complexion as Celeste sitting in his Tesla with the caption, "Softest soft launch of all time," suggesting he is now in a relationship. Firstly, we know this wasn't a real-time photo because David was in London on July 7th for the first date of his My House Is Not a Home tour, which means that these photos were taken before July 7th. Maybe he was
Go back. Okay, yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right? That makes sense.
wasn't a real-time
That makes sense.
photo because
And he's in
David
his
was
car,
in London
so-
on July 7th for the first date of his My House Is Not a Home tour, which means that these photos were taken before July 7th. Maybe he was bored
Before
on
the-
the plane or in a hotel and just posted them. To know if this is
Why are you so hard to defend him? Bro, are you fucking stupid? Bro,
Celeste,
stop chatting.
first we
Stop-
must
stop
take a
chatting.
look
You're
at some
dumb.
more
Just stop-
photos
stop
posted
chatting.
by a TikTok account
Close
named
your account. Just stop
Yay
it.
This account posted photos with David seemingly from that exact same day, including one of them kissing and him having a hickey on his neck. The red straight hair initially made people think this was not Celeste because she had black curly hair, but the backstage video of her in June seems to indicate she may have dyed her hair, and the frizziness is likely a result of
Straightened
using
it.
a hot flat iron to straighten thick curly hair. There was also a Discord
sense.
user in David's official Discord named Yay Wahoo, matching the TikTok account name, who insiders assumed was Celeste. But look at the profile picture. It is seemingly from the perspective of the Yay Wahoo girl and David in the Tesla. They're both doing the Spider-Man hand thing at the camera. It looks like David's hand is on the left and her hand is on the right. You can even spot
The ring!
a ring on her finger,
That's the
which
ring.
I will get to in a second. In this photo, it seems like they are
I
parked
said
next to
that.
another car with the windows rolled down, just like some teenagers hanging out late at night. It appears that the car next to them has someone in it with a black hoodie on. I mean, I think that jumble of pixels is a person. So if you compare that Yay Wahoo profile picture on Discord with some of the photos that were posted on TikTok, it seems like they may have been chilling all day and all night in that Tesla, sort of taking pictures and hanging out. On July 11th, 2024, David wrote a message in his Discord that said, "Me and deleted user have a kid on the way." We don't know if that deleted user is the same Yay Wahoo user, but it might be. David was in Paris when he wrote that message. Many people suggest that he was talking about Celeste and have developed tons of theories surrounding this alleged pregnancy. First of all, even if this was true, there's no way that that baby was born. That would mean that a baby would have been born in April of 2025 at the absolute latest. And I don't think you are hiding a baby for this long. Now, it is possible that the pregnancy could have been real and maybe there was an abortion.
Guys, these message extra from Discord, these guys, Discord messages need context. Like they have to be contextualized. Like I think the context is the most more important than the information because a lot of these are things that like people saying shit like that. Like it's just
Or maybe she got pregnant again, but we are really stretching
I've
that
gotta
at this
see the
point.
log,
People
man.
have also used this photo, which was posted by Yay Wahoo, as Celeste standing behind David and mimicking a pregnancy announcement, comically placing her hands around an invisible baby bump on David's belly. Basically, people on the internet are trying to establish a motive, that David may have gotten Celeste pregnant and maybe he thought that that would ruin his career, or people would find out that he got a child pregnant and the result of that was potentially a murder. That definitely could be a motive, and we don't want to discredit that completely, but it does seem like the timeline doesn't exactly match up. Also, this theory has been debunked because Celeste Rivas' official death certificate revealed that she was not pregnant and had not been pregnant in the last year. Anyways, Yay Wahoo is now a deleted account, but there is a Discord chat log that has this person identifying themselves as Yay Wahoo and then saying she's with David right now now on July 22nd, 2024, which could definitely be true because David's European tour ended 6 days before this message. This user also posted a photo in David's Discord wearing a ring where you can also see a red finger tattoo that says David. And if we go back to the Yay Woohoo TikTok post, all the way in the bottom right corner, you can see what looks like a red finger tattoo. And then again, if we look at the Yay Woohoo Discord profile picture, you can also see the ring on the finger. Also, this same mystery girl, Yay Woohoo, who we think might be Celeste, made a post on Instagram under the name Hello Kitty Life Girl sitting across from David. I believe this photo was also posted around July of 2020.
Okay, wait, chat. I'm just entertaining the possibility. Is there no possibility, chat, that the person, the second account on Discord, is like somebody kind of pretending or like just reposting, pretending like this person, and just anything like going on Instagram of this person's behalf, they're just reposting over there like it's them? Is that a possibility? I feel like not impossible. Too niche? Yeah, at the time it might have been a lot smaller.
Because David dyed his hair all the way black at that time and posted a photo of him wearing what appears to be that same pink shirt. In the Hello Kitty Life Girl photo, you can see the ring and the red tattoo on the girl's finger. Plus, she was wearing a sweater that David had.
Okay, so this is the mall.
See the ring and the red tattoo on the girl's finger. Plus, she was wearing a sweater that photo was all. I'm
confused. Is this not some type of mall, some type of store? With this, you can now see what kind of store it is and get the security footage dated of this. This is another store or whatever. Can they not just go back and ask them for some of the records or some of the footage?
At that time, and post a photo you can see the photographed in. The red tattoo is important because authorities confirmed that the body they found inside the Tesla had a tattoo on her right index finger with the letters shh. David also has a tattoo on his finger that says shh, meaning they allegedly have matching tattoos. But this is confusing because Yay Woohoo's tattoo doesn't say shh, it says his name. Yeah, and it's also on her left ring finger, not her right index finger, which means Yay Woohoo either isn't actually Celeste or that red David tattoo wasn't real and maybe it was a temporary tattoo. Or this could be Celeste and she had both tattoos. She had shh on this finger and then she had David's name on her ring finger. But if that were true, then it makes the police report incredibly confusing. When the police found the body in the Tesla, they knew that it was the pop star David's Tesla. And then they said that, oh, she had a matching tattoo with David that said shh. Why would they?
No, that wouldn't that be their analysis?
And then they said that
authorities said you had a tattoo on the right index finger with the letter shh. Yeah, so this would be the police thing, and this would be their analysis of it. No, that's TMZ making the match, and that's the police giving the fact.
Oh, she had a matching tattoo with David that said shh. Why would they reveal that and not the one that says David on her finger? That would not be the easiest connection ever. Like, oh, okay, this car belongs to David, body in the car. Oh yeah, her finger says David. Like that seems like really, really crucial evidence. That's just where something doesn't really match up for me. While reviewing this edit, I had another thought about this whole ring finger situation. The police did reveal that the body was dismembered or cut up. We don't know to what extent, how bad it was, or what was missing. But it makes me think if potentially the left ring finger or maybe the left hand was missing as a potential way to cover up the evidence, this would be some insane level like serial killer, premeditated murder type stuff. At the end of July 2024, we have this photo of David at a party and a girl that strongly resembles Celeste.
But if you would have removed one, you would have went for both though in that theory. In that theory, to not identify the tattoo, to match it with any sort of footprint, you just get both.
Or Yay Woohoo behind him. Red curly hair, ring on the finger, wearing David's silk bandana that he has worn hundreds of times. I'm pretty sure that Yay Woohoo is Hello Kitty Life Girl, and it is that girl wearing the silk bandana behind David at the party. But I can't confirm that this is Celeste, although it does seem like...
Ring matches, maybe he, I don't know. And you'd have to
like it.
Look.
But there is even more evidence to dissect in July of 2024, I think. And it starts with this photo that was taken right around the corner from Celeste's house. Reports have not identified her exact address, but they revealed that she lived down the street from Del Lago Spirits in Lake Elsinore, California, which would mean somewhere on Jamieson Street. A new townhome community was being developed down Laguna Ave, less than a half a mile away from where Celeste lived. Referring to Google Maps, you can see this is the same parking lot that the photo was taken. Note the double-lined parking lot spaces,
Damn,
specifically the
hold
one
on.
all the way on the end next to the dirt patch. Also note across the street the brown fence that turns into a white fence, and take note of the wooden utility poles in the back that have the 3 distribution transformers
Yeah,
on
it's a
them.
match.
Since David lives 70 miles from Lake Elsinore, California, the only reason he would be down there right around the corner from where she lives is because he at least knew her, at least hung out with her. I mean, we know for a fact at this point there's absolutely no like world where he's like, oh yeah, I don't know who this girl is, I never met her, nothing. There's enough evidence where they were together for sure. They spent time together. Now, text messages were released by someone who contacted this kid who was standing across from David to give context about why they were in that parking lot. Bro, this was a secret that wasn't supposed to get out. David didn't know how old the girl was. She was lying and saying she was 19 when he was 20. And the second he found out, he took her home, and since we were some dumb kids, we tried to blackmail him, and we really messed up. And if you keep that video up, you could
for doing nothing wrong, but they would be blackmailing him over the fact that she's underage, right? So if you're convinced he's 19 and he's trying to blackmail you, you have no leverage because in your opinion they're 19. This is a 0 IQ. There's an IQ here of a 0.
ruin his life for doing nothing wrong over a girl lying, and then you could ruin my life because he would know I leaked it and I could go to jail for like slandering him. Now, we know this kid's story can't be all the way true because
It's not that I can't read it. You can't read it. There's no leverage here. What are you talking about? 19 was 20. Saying he found out, he took her home. Okay, does he found out what? That she was underage? That she was lying? Okay. Since you know, to blackmail him, really messed up. But did nothing wrong.
to jail for like slandering him. Now, we know this kid's story can't be all the way true because it makes it seem like David hung out with Celeste one time, she lied about her age, and then he drove her back home. And we know they hung out more than one time. But the specific details of this kid blackmailing David actually don't matter. What does matter is simple. This kid knew about David and Celeste, and David did not want anyone else to know about them. And he was willing to pay someone to forget.
The things you say, the things you think, the way you portray yourself, the way you conduct yourself, okay? Like literally goes exponential from when you're like 13 to like 20. You can tell somebody's age by talking with them for like 5 seconds. You're never gonna convince me that this guy was like, oh no, this is an adult. I was lied to, bro. Please. And some people sometimes look older. That's 13, 11, brother man. There is no shot your radar is that bad. Just stop it. I refuse to believe it. Even on the stream, you can hear all the things she's saying. Very childish. Very childish. Come on, bro. That's crazy.
About it,
Nobody
which
believes that.
opens the door up for so much speculation after like how many times could he have paid someone off or had somebody keep quiet or just controlled his surroundings to make sure that nobody found out about him and Celeste. However, the date of when this happened is extremely important, and I have some weak evidence, but I do think this parking lot transaction also took place in July of 2024. But we have to focus on the outfit. Now, he wore this beanie for the first time publicly in February of 2024, which was around the first time Celeste went missing. He posted 2 TikToks wearing the cap, but David had long hair in February of 2024, and you could see his hair protruding from the sides of his hats. In the parking lot photo, you can't see his hair from the sides. However, in July of 2024, he posted a TikTok.
Go back. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Like, dude, you're posting a picture. Like, dude, when you're putting on a beanie, the way he's putting it on, you're taking your front hair inside, and you're usually getting whatever strand of hair is forward. And the reality is that he has to pull those down to make it look good. But if you put it naturally, you won't have the hair on the side like that. Come on, bro.
And you can
Nobody
see
follows
his hair protruding from the sides of his hats. In the parking lot photo, you can't see his hair from the sides. However, in July of 2024, he posted a TikTok wearing nearly the exact same outfit as the parking lot photo. But David was in Europe at the time of posting this TikTok. There are also no other photos or videos of him wearing this exact beanie in this color anytime after July of 2024. Now, I told you the evidence was weak. However, brand new evidence was just released that throws an unexpected curveball in this entire situation. TMZ obtained a video recorded by a Nest doorbell camera on September 8th, 2024. But the crazy part is, she is back home in Lake Elsinore, and she got into an argument with her neighbors.
Let me talk real quick, okay? You gonna let me talk? I ain't gonna let you talk. No, you ain't gonna let me talk. Why you not gonna let me talk? You tripping. I ain't tripping. Nah, you tripping. How about you ain't tripping? You gonna let a woman talk? Alright, I'm not gonna let your woman talk.
The rest of the clip is just her screaming back and forth with the neighbors. Now keep in mind, Celeste's birthday is September 7th. This video is on September 8th at what seems to be like...
Hold on.
Birthday is September 7th. This video is on September 8th at what seems to be like early hours in the morning, which indicates she was up late, potentially celebrating her birthday. Maybe she was with family. I mean, we know she was home. And to me, she sounds intoxicated or under the influence.
Maybe
Fans immediately recognized Celeste's voice and confirmed that it was the same voice that is in David's songs Invisible String Theory and You Left Me First. But I can't play them due to copyright.
Oh,
now, a lot of people on the internet are...
Oh, come on! Yo, he's so, guys, he does so much, fuck it. Give me that shit. What is it called, chat? Oh, come on, man.
And You Left Me First.
This one?
Why don't you hold my hand? I got a question.
What's the question?
Why don't you hold my hand anymore?
But I can't play them. Indicates she was up late, but...
No, you ain't gonna let me talk. Why you not gonna let me talk? You tripping. I ain't tripping. Nah, you tripping. How about you ain't tripping? You gonna let a woman talk? Alright, I'm not gonna let your woman talk.
The rest of the clip is just her screaming back and forth with the neighbors. Now keep in mind, Celeste's birthday is September 7th. This video is on September 8th at what seems to be like early hours in the morning, which indicates David's songs. Now, a lot of people on the internet are trying to say that, like, oh, David's lawyers are revealing this, and they're trying to make her look like angry or unruly to try to paint some sort of narrative that maybe she is somehow at fault for her own death. But that is honestly just totally not focusing on what is mostly important about this clip. This is a massive reveal because it completely reshapes the timeline of Celeste's disappearance. Until now, the assumption was that she vanished in April of 2024 and that her family had never seen her since, and that we had to do our investigative detective work to assume that maybe the last time she was ever seen was the end of June backstage at
but is it confirmed that this particular house complex is where she lived at with her family? Is this confirmed family home? Was there any indication of that?
That one David show, but this Nest video proves she was still alive in September of 2024, which means every theory built around her going missing in April or going missing after June or July has to be reconsidered. It drastically narrows the potential window of when she may have died, and it places her back at home, not hidden away, abducted, or deceased. It also raises new questions about why her family didn't publicly clarify that they saw her or that she returned home. TMZ reported that when the neighboring family saw Celeste that night, they just assumed she'd been found and everything was fine. So when did she go missing again? Was she just running away and coming back so much that her family couldn't keep up and just forgot? Did they just get used to her being gone for extended periods of time? Like, oh yeah, like Celeste, she just ran away again. We haven't seen her for a few weeks. 'Cause remember the first time she ran away, February 2024, they made a big deal, rightfully so. Posters, flyers, posts on Facebook. In March of 2024, when she disappeared, same thing. More posters, more flyers. They went down the road to the liquor store to find the surveillance footage.
Hold on. Guys, this picture of her too, like, This is in the LA hills. Like, she didn't live in a nice place like this. She lived in the trenches. Like,
thing, more posters,
know,
more
they
flyers.
already
They
had
went down the
her
road to the
being
liquor
in
store
other
to
places
find
that are not
surveillance
home. Like,
footage.
I
But
don't
in
know. I
April of
think it's just weird. The
2024,
parents
not
knew
as
something.
much.
I'm
And it
sorry.
sounds messed up to say, but you can
I'm
imagine a
just saying,
family
it's-
if they have a
parents know a
child
lot
who
more
keeps
than
running away and
this is
keeps
letting
not
on.
wanting to be back home. Like, eventually you're probably going to stop putting up the flyers and the posters, especially if she periodically is coming back home. Now, the idea that David's legal team could be purposefully releasing this to help his case, I mean, yeah, that is possibly true. Well, that's what they're going to do. I mean, they're defending their own case, which logical people understand that. This doesn't necessarily clear him, but it is interesting that previously we thought the last time she had ever been seen alive was backstage at one of his shows, and now the last time that she had ever been seen alive is actually at home. But we still have 12 months of a total blackout period, essentially nothing. No photos, no videos, or
Yeah, but
anything to prove.
That wouldn't even make sense though. Like, why would the lawyers like do that anyway to the public? At least, like, when they want to not link him with her in any way or whatever. Like, now they're just fucking they would be confirming that there's some link there, that they have this information and they're relevant enough to fucking put it out there. No.
Prove that she was alive after September of 2024 and
What?
ultimately
Is that
until
not
she was
reasonable?
found dead September 2025. From an investigative perspective, that 12-month gap is critical because it creates a complete blackout of evidence. In any missing persons case, the period between disappearance and discovery is when investigators look for sightings, digital traces, financial activity, or even small inconsistencies that can narrow down a timeline. But with Celeste, there is basically nothing. That void doesn't point investigators towards a suspect or location, it leaves them with nothing. Now again, I am not defending David. We do know at some point he was spending time with this 13-year-old girl, that she was running away from home to go and hang out with him. We know that they were at least friends, or maybe even potentially more than friends, but this 12 to 14 month gap between, the last time that David had contact with her and then her being dead, I mean, that blackout period, it actually makes his case stronger, because literally anything could have happened. She could have been in a different country, she could have met some other guy, she could have been dead. I mean, there's so many things that could have.
And then landed in his car, parked near his home.
Happened that your imagination can go anywhere. There is this one tiny thing that might be a clue. In February of 2025, David posted this TikTok on his burner account of him joking about cleaning shoes as a side hustle. He's cleaning a pair of Hello Kitty shoes, as well as a pair of white, black, and gray Jordans that seemingly match a pair that Celeste owned. Some people have interpreted this as him cleaning up his crimes. And the next clue or evidence, which honestly isn't.
Okay, and let me defend anybody, but I feel like at the time, Chad, there was like trends of this French guy and other guys doing TikTok lives of them cleaning up shoes or whatever. It was like a pretty common. I remember seeing at least 2 different creators doing that, and it was pretty like getting a lot of views. I'm just saying. Yeah, he might have been doing 2 birds, 1 stone, trying to get a viral TikTok and doing that, but I'm just saying, like,
even that strong doesn't show up until July of 2025, which is a full year later.
Crazy.
In July of 2025, 2 months before Celeste was found dead, another girl named Celeste was seen hanging out with David, completely confusing the story. And it starts with this video of him at an arcade. Some live streamers walked up to him, and you could see this girl on the right has her back to the camera. David grabs her arm and pulls her in towards him, and she walks backwards purposefully, keeping her back to the camera until he physically turns her around.
Don't be shy, don't be shy.
She is seen wearing what looks like the exact same Gap hoodie that was in the photos on the missing person poster.
C2,
when I first saw it, I
debunked.
thought, wow, okay, this is definitely the missing girl. But we now know it's not. In a photo posted by one of David's friends, you can see Celeste Herrera is tagged, wearing the same thick square frame black glasses. And you can see David in the background wearing that same silk bandana. This girl is 23 years old. Here is another shot of her from the front, and you could see that this is not the same missing Celeste. Others speculated that the missing Celeste is the girl in the gray flannel in the back, but that is also untrue. That is just a friend of Herrera's named Vanessa, seen pictured here, and she goes by the Instagram username Space Doll. Now, is it really strange that he was hanging out with another girl named Celeste who had the same exact hoodie and looked very similar? Yes, but what it means is up to speculation. It's evident that David kept a very specific type of girl around him. Fair brown skin, dark curly hair. He even has a music video where a girl with light brown skin and dark curly hair gets murdered and thrown in the trunk of a car. Some say this was on purpose, like these were decoys or distractions so nobody could find out about the missing Celeste. And if that were true and this was all by design, now we're talking about like Dahmer level, Bundy level, like serial killer behavior. But again, that's just speculation. I've seen people say that Celeste's friends stopped hearing from her in July of 2025 as a way to prove that she was still alive at this point, but this case is serious enough where we need irrefutable proof of that. However, the facts of this case really start to ramp up and become crucial around August of 2025. On August 5th, 2025, David performed the first show of his Withered World Tour in Del Mar, California.
Checking, they now just check her phone's like digital footprint, like cell tower pings, shit like that. I mean, they probably already did that. I mean, obviously, like, see, I mean, as long as they have nothing on her, like she does that like crazy OPSEC where she does like fucking decoy phones and fucking come on,
During
bro.
the venue,
Like,
fans
bro.
encountered a vigil where David commemorated the death of his alter ego, Atami, which represented the subconscious evil that we all have within us, according to an interview from 2024. David expressed wanting to create an animated series surrounding his alter ego.
Then he's basically an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego, and the story of the manga went like I was a detective and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments. He would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective.
David has also been known to express his love for gore, at one point even saying he was addicted to watching gore videos.
People say like alter ego, like it's not what they actually think. Yeah, let's keep it about. Let's keep it about. Yeah, there's some good intricate like storytellers, writers, whatever. This just seems like, oh, these are my actual thoughts that. Come on, bro.
I like writing gory psychological drama, romantic quotes, and a lot of death, he says. He admitted that he became so desensitized to it that he would laugh at gore videos or videos of murder. Another signature part of his branding was his blood-stained shirt that he often took photos in, performed in. David's artistic branding has consistently revolved around death, violence, and psychological darkness, but he complements it with these beautiful singing ballads that make it feel poetic and romantic rather than purely grotesque. This isn't necessarily new at all. Tons of super famous artists like XXXTentacion, My Chemical Romance, Trippie Redd, 9 Inch Nails have pursued a similar artistic direction. However, now people are looking at his branding as almost him hiding in
making a song, having certain themes, instead of having like a fixation with always like your personal post, your fucking artist post, your lyrics, your videos, everything is in those. And never stopped it. Some of these are like one-offs, like two-offs. It's not the same as having your entire personality about it. Come on, bro. It's not the same at all.
Plain sight.
Here's
At the opening night of the Withered Tour,
way
David's
deeper than the
fans
other
were
guys.
greeted with an elaborate setup that included a casket being wheeled out of a hearse. Inside, the casket sat near a wreath and a guest book where people could write notes to Atami. David's online shop sells something called the Withered Scrapbook, where his fans are encouraged to share when do you feel like Atami takes over, what usually happens, and how does it make you feel. Another page asks fans to write a letter to Atami, talk to them like a friend or maybe an enemy, and let them know how you feel about their presence in your life. This is especially disturbing because during the first few weeks of this tour, the LAPD believes there was a dead girl decomposing inside the trunk of his Tesla. The residents of the Hollywood Hills community where David lived reported a Tesla sedan had been sitting on Bluebird Avenue for at least 3 weeks. They also said that the car was spotted in various places around the neighborhood in the preceding months, as far back as the end of May. Now this seems incredibly odd.
Why?
Did David not have a garage or a free parking space? Why not just park the car at his place? It's not like he was this car collector known to have multiple cars just kind of sitting around. As far as we know, this was his only vehicle. The car was officially reported to the police on August 26th as residents wanted it moved. The next day, the street was marked with white chalk around the tires, so...
Somebody said he has 2 other cars in his garage. Okay, does that house not have a driveway that that you can like swap cars and I mean that's what people usually do. I mean, bro, in those hills you don't want to park on the fucking on the road. Trust me, it's some bullshit.
If it was moved,
You do
the
not want to
white
be
chalk
parked in
would
the
be
middle of the road
messed
then.
up and there would be white residue on the tire. They came back to the car on September 3rd and there was no marking on the tires, therefore it never moved, so they issued a ticket. Then 2 days later the car was still not moved, so on September 5th it was officially towed at 10:20 a.m. However, 3 days after it was towed, on September 8th, 2025 at 12:30 p.m., officers responded to a report of a foul odor coming from the impounded vehicle at the Hollywood tow lot on North Mansfield Avenue in LA, and that's when they found the decomposing body. Many people have come to the conclusion that David left this car, or someone else left this car, on the street with her.
Dude, that means they had to be bad enough to fucking radiate from a car at a certain range or whatever, and be bad enough to make a call to fix something. I mean, bruh, yeah, it was hot, but brother, you're talking about like some fucking aura, like.
Her body
Dude.
in there. But if her body was decomposing in the trunk for days or weeks in the hot Los Angeles summer, wouldn't the stench be apparent? Multiple different people were likely around this car. Residents maybe walked their dogs by the car. They knew that the car was suspiciously parked there for weeks. It bothered them enough to report it. And
That's why I
obviously
said
the tow truck driver had to connect the car to the tow truck, thus being pretty close to it. And nobody had reported an odor at that point. I mean, maybe it's possible that the plastic bag or multiple plastic bags that were holding the body had masked the smell, and yeah, maybe if the trunk was airtight, I suppose the odor couldn't have leaked out. But then once it was towed, the body may have gotten tossed around and sort of seals were broken and fumes were exposed. When scanning the area, you can see that the car was suspiciously parked in the perfect place. Almost all of these houses have massive privacy hedges, so even if these houses have cameras, they likely can't see what's going on in the street. The car was parked in such a specific place that only one house across the street could have gotten a video of it, and that's only if they had a camera near the roof. Police searched for surveillance video in the Hollywood Hills area where David's Tesla was abandoned. Multiple residents who live on the block recalled LAPD sweeping the area and talking with every neighbor they can track down to see if there's a ring camera or surveillance video showing David's car. The neighbor who called to have the car towed also spoke to police and turned over footage. I don't think we are going to get a perfect video that solves this case. The best we are likely going to get is a video from a house down the street or around the...
Wait, dude, the car kept getting parked different places in the neighborhood, and not one person has even it parking once. Come on, bro. And he probably had to walk at least to another car, whoever did this, from the Tesla to another car, Tesla to home, Tesla to Uber. I know there's edges, but there has to be at least one in the entire spot, man.
Corner that just tells us potentially the last time that the car was driven in the general area, but that would be a major discovery, because if we know when the last time that car was driven, we can potentially rule David in or out as being the driver, since he was on tour around the time it was reported. Like, for example, if the car was driven any time after August 6, 2025, then it wasn't David that drove the car. That doesn't necessarily mean he isn't involved, because since this is a Tesla, it's unlikely the car was stolen or even broken into. Teslas are some of the least stolen cars in America, and that's basically...
And also, what you can just send a call to somebody and say, yo, my car's parked illegally on this street. Can you just move it to this so it doesn't get impounded or whatever? Then the person might not even know that there's a body inside of it and be moving a fucking dead body. You know what I'm saying? Like,
basically because the car is a computer, which also brings up so many other questions. Those cars track everything. They have cameras everywhere. They have satellites that are constantly taking in information and reporting other information. You can even get a notification on your phone when the trunk is opened. We have to assume the LAPD is looking into his Tesla account, no?
Well, it's all going to depend on if Sentry mode was turned on. Because if Sentry mode was actually activated on the vehicle, then it's doing a lot of recording of video footage from its 8 external cameras. And so if that was the case, then you'd actually have clips of the people opening the door, a clip of someone opening the trunk, and that could possibly be recovered by the police. Now, if Sentry mode's not turned on, then it's not going to be doing any of those recordings. And what you'll get is recordings when the vehicle's in motion versus when it's stationary.
LAPD Captain Scott M. Williams says, "We know that the Tesla had been parked at the location from which it was towed for several weeks, so it is very likely Celeste Rivas Hernandez had been dead for several weeks prior to her body being discovered, which supports the theory that it could have happened before he went on tour on August 5th.
Now, David was supposed to be starting his Withered tour on July 30th, 2025. That is according to original merch that he put out for this tour. He was supposed to perform in San Francisco on July 30th. He was supposed to perform in Phoenix, Arizona on August 1st, and then was supposed to perform in Del Mar, California on the 2nd and on the 5th. The first...
Chad, the police is locked in. They got this. This is like a no-brainer. Dude, the Tesla probably at least has data of where it was moved, right? At any of those times where the body would be in, and then they can just trace back the whole road, the entire thing. We're talking hundreds, thousands maybe of houses that the car to be driven next to these cameras, that one of them has some at least semi-clear picture of who's driving it, and them coming back from whatever spot they drove it to. This is too easy. There's no way
3
to
shows, however, were canceled. He didn't start his tour on July 30th. He instead started the tour on August 5th, 6 days late.
The medical examiner's office said the victim is a female who...
It's the LA Hills, okay? Buddy, everybody's got their little neighborhood app, 20 cameras, where the fuck. I know some of these have hedges. Somebody other guys down the street. Buddy, a fucking raccoon moves and they warn the whole neighborhood that a raccoon moved. And they call the police on it. It's LA, buddy.
Wore a tube top, black leggings, a yellow metal chain bracelet, and stud earrings. She had wavy black hair and weighed approximately 71 pounds. The day before her body was found, September 7th, was actually her birthday, so she technically never turned 15 years old. David posted a selfie that day with a Hello Kitty shirt on. Despite potentially being a suspect in a homicide case, David still performed at his show in Minneapolis, Minnesota on September 9th, 2025. That same day, Crocs and Hollister dropped David from its Dream Drop collection, which launched just 6 days earlier. Less than 24 hours after the body was found in her car, remember, Celeste's identity had not been revealed to the public just yet, and none of the information...
I'm not being cringe. Yeah, it's not a fucking meme, dumbass. It's what was it? Was it not 9/7? I forgot what it was. No, it was 6/7. It was 4 dates that match back to back. That's not a coincidence.
You now know was revealed. This comment shows up on Reddit. This guy is a pedo from what I've heard. My sister, who is now in 9th grade, told me that he was dating an 8th grader. Let's call her C. And she would go on trips with him to LA. They're all in 9th grade, and it turns out C's friends knew and he would pay them to keep their mouths shut. C has been missing for over a month now, and no one knows her whereabouts. Definitely something strange going on. Celeste, whose name starts with C, was 13 to 14 years old, which would make her an 8th grader. Plus, remember, we had gone over evidence that was later revealed of David allegedly paying off someone who caught the two together, which is extremely interesting, and it reveals...
Bro, these are guys. They always speak in codes. They always speak in whatever. Never any confirming fucking any proof of any kind. It can be something that cannot be traced or anything. So any remote thing. Nope, can't do it. Guys, XYZ ABC. Ha! Do what you want with this information. I'm out. Deletes account, leaves it forever. Come on, bro.
That even sort of random, regular people knew about what was going on, and that David was romantically involved with a child, but kept quiet. The cause of the teen's death is still classified as deferred. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner has not yet determined the cause or the manner of Miss Rivas Hernandez's death. That's also why there hasn't been any arrests yet. It remains unclear whether there is any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body. They are still waiting on toxicology reports to determine if there were substances in her system. Robbery homicide detective...
Guys, what they mean by that is that there is to be entertained a scenario where, let's say, a person OD'd or something. I'm just saying, right? And then the crime in this case would be mishandling of a body, fucking possible accomplice or whatever the fuck, all this, because they don't have a cause of death yet, and they don't know how it happened. So they're just saying that. Does that make sense? You guys are not listening?
any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body. They are still waiting on toxicology reports to determine if there were substances in her system. Robbery homicide detectives served...
Yes, that would include dismemberment. Yes, mishandling of a dead body. Just look it up, man. Yeah, like, I'm not just talking out of my ass. Like, bro, we've seen a bunch of videos, cop videos, just like that, court case or whatever, when, yes, of course it's still a crime, man. That's not what they're saying, though. That's what they're saying, though. Like, beyond, it would still be criminal culpability, but it wouldn't be beyond. I'm not defending it. I'm just telling you. Like,
medical examiner has not yet determined the cause or the manner of body. They're
yes. Stop.
Still waiting on
Stop.
toxicology
Oh my God,
reports to determine if there were substances in her system. Robbery homicide detectives served a search warrant at the home David was renting. On September 17th, 2025, several items of evidence were recovered from the home, including his computer, and will be analyzed by detectives. Investigators also searched the home for blood. LAPD's Scientific Investigation Division took part in the 12-hour search of David's home, using luminol to look for trace amounts of blood. Luminol is a chemical spray investigators mist over floors, walls, or objects in a darkened scene. If it contacts the iron and hemoglobin, which are red blood cells, even in tiny, cleaned, or diluted traces, it produces a brief blue-white flow that reveals hidden blood stains for photography. However, they did not state officially whether or not they found any blood in his place. An immediate neighbor in Hollywood said he saw David and Celeste all the time and believed they had lived together at the home. They were pretty quiet. I never saw police there and didn't hear them partying or anything. Nothing wild. I last saw them a couple of months ago. I'm not sure, but I thought they were just kids, like a couple aged 18 and 19. Celeste's former science teacher was seen taking out his phone and informing students that he had taught Celeste years earlier. The teacher was teaching a lesson on the dangers of social media and used her as an example.
That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
Wait, how long ago was this?
We all just found out yesterday.
It's weird, yeah. I don't want to be insensitive, but this guy's like almost like not happy, almost like excited that something of the media spotlight is like within his zone, and he somehow, and it's just odd. I'm not a fan of it.
I taught her, so when I
it's
taught
almost
her,
like a boast.
she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA.
I know he's trying to make a point and warn them, but
she was gone for like a month.
You could choose your tone.
Cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper, and then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media.
Someone interested in the case found and contacted Matthew, who was Celeste's brother, on Instagram. The person questioned why David followed Matthew. He replied, "He found my account out of nowhere and followed me." He also said that he met David once. When asked if the family knew about Celeste dating David and living at his home, Matthew said, "I knew and went to the police about it, but lack of evidence, so it was waived off." Matthew also said that David would tell Celeste that he was waiting until she turned 18 to get married, which could make the ring on Ye Wahoo's finger some sort of promise ring. Matthew was unaware of all of the resurfaced Discord messages. He confirmed that a number of the photos circulating on the internet are of his sister and David. He also confirmed that leaked text messages between Celeste and her friend are real, where Celeste talks about activity with David. She wrote, "I only bled with David," and then she says, "With Gus, I was just drunk and did it because he got mad at me the first time for not having X with him." Matthew said these texts were real because he knows who Gus was. He lived in Elsinore, California, and was killed by gun violence. More deleted user Discord messages were revealed that show someone, potentially Celeste, admitting to losing their virginity at age 11. Now, there are so many more rumors, hearsay, rabbit holes, but I tried to include include all of the facts along with reasonable speculation or leads that have a decent source. There is nothing wrong with asking questions and tracking down leads, but it starts to feel like people want to be a part of a Netflix crime documentary style expose more than just reasonable, logical concern for a young girl. There was a guy on Reddit who said he lives near David and started scoping out the place, allegedly finding a discarded Tesla key, suggesting it may have been David's. He did report it to the police. There's also rumors that David was paying Celeste's family $20,000 per month to keep quiet. There was a straight up lie that the FBI had a warrant out for the arrest of...
Reacting is fine. Stop holding meet the standards that you don't hold yourself to. I don't interject into shit. I don't get inside of shit. I don't become a willful participant inside of something. I'm allowed to look at shit on my side and go, oh, I'm looking at all this. I'm allowed to be an observer. You're allowed to be an observer. These people are interjecting non-needed parties into something. It is not the same, Bubby.
David's bodyguard.
Also, Cheezer updates. That page is crazy.
There's always the classic, she was a Hollywood Illuminati sacrifice for David. There's rumors that she was being trafficked. Every girl that loosely resembles Celeste around David is being pointed out, and people are speculating if it's her or not. The most unfortunate part about this case is because of so little evidence being released to the public, along with Celeste not being seen for months before she died, technically any theory you want to come up with can't necessarily be counted out. You could essentially make anything up, and there isn't that much evidence to prove you wrong. She could have been locked in a basement. She could have been trafficked around the world. She could have accidentally overdosed on drugs, and this was a sloppy attempt to discard her remains. This could have been extremely disturbing, premeditated serial killer style murder. She could have ran off with an entirely different person. It could be someone David was friends with, loosely knew, kinda knew, met one time, didn't know. It feels like we know so much, but so little at the same time. Right now, the most important thing is finding any proof of her being alive between the dates of September 2024, which was the last time she was seen alive at home in Lake Elsinore, California, and September 2025 when she was found dead. Anything in that time period will get us closer to understanding when, how, and maybe why she was killed. And obviously anything surrounding this car. The Tesla data will get us so much closer to solving this, as well as knowing how much David may or may not be involved, because right now he has not been arrested. He has canceled all of his shows around the world, and he's been radio silent on social media. And you would think that this is surely the end of his career, but the exact opposite has happened. Originally, his labels had paused all promotional activities.
I understand lawyers are always going to tell you, you say nothing, but there's a level at which if you're absolutely zero guilty of nothing to do with something, dude, most people that understand, even though they're said to say nothing, they'll say, guys, holy shit, I'm not involved in this. This isn't me, whatever. It happens all the time. Even about other crimes, bunch of heavier crimes. It is what it is. Like, it just bugs me. It was not true. Yes, this happens all the time. What are you talking about?
Related to David out of respect for the seriousness of the situation and the ongoing investigation, but his music streaming numbers increased tremendously. His album Petals to Thorns re-entered the Billboard 200 Hot Albums chart. He earned his biggest streaming day of all time on Spotify on September 21st with 12.1 million streams. As of right now, this case has helped his career and probably got him a ton of new fans who genuinely couldn't care about his crimes. I mean, R. Kelly still has millions of monthly listeners. David has also retained attorney Blair Burke to represent him. Burke is a prominent Hollywood defense attorney known for taking on high-profile clients in the midst of a crisis, especially men accused of misconduct ranging from assault to domestic violence. Burke's list of clients has included Harvey Weinstein, Johnny Depp, Marilyn Manson, Sylvester Stallone, Mel Gibson. At the absolute worst case scenario, David is involved with or committed the murder of a child. Best case scenario, which is still horrible, is that he had a relationship with a child that was 6 years younger than him. But it seems unlikely that he is entirely innocent and had absolutely nothing to do or no connection or no knowledge of the murder of Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
Yeah, like, guys, it's not gonna bite you in the ass to say, yo, let's say you're accused of something terrible, okay? And yes, you're gonna, I don't know, you're gonna cooperate with the police, you're gonna do whatever, right? You just say, guys, these news are insane. I wasn't part of this. This is not gonna hurt you. How is it? How it would never hurt you? That shit would never ever bite you in the ass ever. Like that's crazy. Car chase, link it then, you bitch ass. Link it. Christ, man. Car chase where? At my hands. Like they can't. I got nothing in my hands. I can't click it. Link it.